Hello guys, welcome back to a new video. Today we will be looking at the history of Union Pacific 844. As you can see on the screen, it's right there. So I'm going to be borrowing a video by, I think you pronounce the channel Boynot. I'm going to be borrowing his video because I could barely find any information on Google, but let's see how this goes. 844 story begins in the late 19-somethings. Okay, 1930s. Union Pacific's fleet of 482 locomotives. I think it's 482. Yeah, 482 locomotives were beginning to struggle on the decreasing demands, I think. Yeah, I think. On both freight and passenger trains. Sorry, traffic. Union Pacific decided to turn to Alco for some help in getting rid of these problems. The Union Pacific wanted an engine that can pull heavy trains of passenger and freight, I think. Yeah, just passenger. I think. No, not. Passenger or freight. For, that were 20 cars long, up to 90 miles per hour, on flat ground. After going back and forth with Alco on a number of different design options, the Union Pacific eventually placed an order for 2484 FEF class locomotives in 1937. The Northerns were so successful that in 1939, Union placed another order for 50 FEF2 class engines. And again, in 1944, they ordered 10 more FEF3 class locomotives, and 844 was probably the last one to be made. As the UP already discovered with the rest of the fleet, the 844 found itself right at home, or found itself pulling passenger trains at up to 90 miles per hour. The 844, if it wasn't hauling some boxcars, it would have been doing some passenger trains. In 1946, 844, along with some other engines, were converted to a coal burner to an oil burner. As the late 1950s came, the Union Pacific, I think it's Union Pacific, ended steam on a year. The engine found itself at storage at Wyoming. Instead of retiring and scrapping the engine, they decided to keep 844. They began using it on some excursions, some passenger or freight excursions in the 1960s. In 1962, the locomotive would be numbered to 844 to 8444, as you can see on this picture right here, as one of Union Pacific's diesels carried the number 844. It carried this number until the late 1990s or early 1990s, just 1990s. One of the more notable trips come from 1969, when the locomotive took over the Golden Spike Centennial Limited from Nickel Plate Road 759 at Salt Lake City, Utah, and took the train to Ogden, Utah, if that's how you say that, to celebrate the 100th of the driving of the Golden Spike. It would later hand the train back to 759. There it would finish out its tour. One excursion special from the 844 would find itself heading up to Denver Post, Cheyenne, Frontier Day Special, which was a round trip from Colorado to Denver, Colorado. Did I say Denver? Denver, Colorado to Cheyenne, Wyoming. Continue! Okay, and back. Unfortunately, the annual excursion special was discontinued after 2018. As the 1970s came to the 1980s, 844 began seeing use on more marquee railroad events around the country. In 1984, the 844, along with the Southern Pacific 4449, would both be the new something World's Fair. Some 5 years later, two locomotives would see each other teaming up again in 1989 to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Los Angeles passenger. They would kick off the event by doing a side-by-side photo run. They would end off the event a few days later by having a race through Oklahoma Pass to make use of Pacific and Santa Fe's parallel main lines. The mountains. Union Pacific had its track rights over, I think that's how you say it.
Pacific elected
It was also around this time that Union Pacific elected a paint job, a new one, into a Greyhound theme. But after a few years, this was done away with. The crew's having too much trouble trying to clean it. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, the 844, the aforementioned 39-5, often team up to head to Sacramento through various California railroad rail fairs it would host, as well as a whole of some stuff. Between 1999 and, of course, 2004, the 844, did I already say that? Would be taken out of service after a major flue failure that would be at Cal Rail Fair in 1999. After returning to operation in 2004, the 844 would go on to team up with Daylight 4449 again for some doubleheader excursions. I already said that already. In the Pacific Northwest inside of 2007. In 2013, Union Pacific discovered that the bracket holder for the bar light needed some repair. And as such, the bar light was removed. Shortly following this, the 844 was once again, if I already said that because I don't know, was once again pulled out of service for some boiler work. While this work was underway, the Union Pacific elected that it was the best time for its 15-year rebuild. So, of course, that is what they did. I mean, they could have repaired the bars light. In 2016, they finished. Yes, it returned to operation again! Although the locomotive hasn't been operated since 2019. Don't know if I got that correct. Some stuff. Well, the engine still operates today, and well, that will be it for today's video. I just want to say some stuff about the Union Pacific 844. It is my favorite steam engine of all steam engines I know, and also it holds a record for holds a record for the only mainline steam locomotive that was never retired. So I think that's pretty cool. So that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. See you later. Bye. Please subscribe. It helps me a lot. Whenever I get a subscriber, I get really excited. So bye.